News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset, y'all. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. There is amazing stuff going on in Venezuela right now. They are trying to overthrow the dictator Maduro, and it is incredible what we're seeing. I urge you to look at my Twitter profile. It's amazing. You have people that are on their knees outside of a voting center praying the Lord's Prayer. It's unbelievable. On my feed, there are Bolivian National Guardsmen brought in to open fire on unarmed Venezuelan civilians. You can see them die. It's horrifying. There are thousands of Brazilians coming together in Caracas, mobilizing in motorcycles and scooters to go after the Maduro mobs. The Venezuelan military the National Guard has refused to go after the people. They are cheering the people on. Elon Musk was saying about this a little while ago earlier. He was saying this, that when you have the guard on your side, they can get them out. This is dramatic, and it's unfolding, and I'm on it, okay? All night long, all day long, all tomorrow. They need this. They need to get a democratic government put back in power. They don't have one right now. And I urge the people to do what's right there in their eyes, and I pray it turns out for the best. Meantime, the quick thing on illegals, crime is, Mayor Pete's wrong. Crime is underreported because the FBI, the USAR reports every year. They don't report anything that's not in the media. If the media doesn't report it locally, it doesn't go. So that's why a lot of handgun stories where people lawfully armed stopping violent crime from taking place don't make it. Many of those don't get in the news. Also, Chicago and D.C. and I think New York changed the way they report their crime statistics. So it shows a dramatic drop in crime, but it's not because the crime didn't happen. It's because they've changed their reporting. And Chicago and several other big cities don't even report to the FBI. They no longer share their crime stats with the FBI. So the idea that crime is down is a lie. It's not. And they've changed the metric and the way of doing it. They don't even share it with the FBI most of the time. So that's totally untrue. But you also have this from one San Francisco liberal who switched. She said she was red-pilled when District Attorney Kamala, at the time DA of San Francisco, had a drug-dealing illegal alien. She sent him into a jobs program instead of prison. 4 months later, he robbed this 29-year-old woman, mowed her down with an SUV, and fractured her skull and ruined her life. She says, at that moment in an interview with ABC News, I was red-pilled. That liberal Democrat, lifelong liberal Democrat woman became a Trump supporter and now publicly supports him in an interview with ABC News. But the story is not being told the right way. We are losing. I'm telling you, we're losing, and she is going to be the next Barack Hussein Obama. And we got 40 days before Pennsylvania starts early voting and 90 days or whatever it is, 98 days or something like that. And I'm telling you, it's bad. We are not defining her, and we are not sharing policies, and we are not making about policies, and that's it. And instead, we're losing. Now, this did make me go nuts today, and I like this. All right, here we go.
Kamala Harris questioned my loyalty to this country. That's the word she used, loyalty. I served in the United States Marine Corps. I went to Iraq for this country. My running mate took a bullet for this country. So my question to Kamala Harris is, what the hell have you done to question our loyalty to the United States of America?
It appears nothing but policies that would destroy America is what she's done. And her pastor says we are a racist country and is demanding reparations. He's on the San Francisco Reparations Council. And he said it was America's fault at a ceremony honoring the dead in San Francisco, and it was so bad that liberal Senator Dianne Feinstein walked out, and one other liberal Democrat, the former Governor Gray Davis, they walked out. Nancy Pelosi wrote a scathing editorial attacking him, and the partner of the gay partner of the man one of the men who died in Flight 94 over Pennsylvania 93. He was offended, and Pelosi staff were crying because of his remarks. So that's what her pastor and she's been super tight with him for over 25 years, said about that. That's how those feelings are now. But the Democrats are defining J.D. Vance faster than Trump is defining Kamala. There's a column on that, and I think they're absolutely correct. And you do not have policy definition. You don't have her defined at all. They specifically waited this long to get her out there, to hide her, to make her look like the new Obama. And this is exactly orchestrated by Obama. He and her have been friends before he even ran as a United States senator, and before she even ran as a district, the Attorney General of California. You understand this? It's been written and decided 3 years ago, and now we have less than 99 days. I think we're losing, and I think the way Trump Vance are doing right now is horribly in defining her and in making it all about the positions, the political positions, and the political issues, and we are losing. And I want to say it today. A new urgency has ripped through me. We are losing, and we are not defining her. So my questions for you, and Arizona Mark Kelly, by the way, is one of her top picks, the senator from Arizona, to try to win that state. And by the way, he reportedly is going to get the job. He was involved with a spy balloon company funded by China. I'll tell you about that coming up. How do you think Trump's defining Kamala versus the Democrats defining J.D. Vance right now? Do you think we're losing this, as I'm saying? How do you think Trump is doing defining Kamala versus the Democrats defining J.D. Vance? And why do you think J.D. Vance is a bad VP choice for President Trump? A lot of people have been saying that. Maybe you disagree with me, but I think he was a bad choice. I think he can be good and be a good choice, but there's been no showing of it, no evidence of that. And I think a Marco Rubio or Tim Scott would have been much, much better. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227, 800-288-WBAP. Chime in right now. Lines wide open. How do you think Trump's doing defining Kamala versus the Democrats defining J.D. Vance? Why do you think J.D. Vance is a bad VP choice for President Trump? And what should Trump do if Vance is the wrong guy? And why would Senator Mark Kelly be a threat to Trump's campaign in your opinion? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Chime in right now. Lines wide open. All right, coming up next, I'm going to share with you about why they aren't taking their time, why they are not rushing. A great column by my friend Eric Erickson. Also, like J.D. Vance with his childless cat lady remark is not going well. He's defending it, saying it's being taken out of context. There could be a lot of those that are taken out of context in his background that may not have been vetted. And that isn't the problem. Is the media has rigged it against us. The problem is Google has rigged it against us. Do you understand now? If you search for Donald Trump, it'll say Trump and Harris, and it'll have all positive stories about Harris right now in Google. Do you understand that? Do you understand that Google has decided to destroy Donald Trump and our view, and that you will not find it? You will have a hell of a chance to try to find it now. And when you look for Trump, you will find Kamala. When you look for the assassination picture and video and story, you will not find it. And if you do, it's because you had to work hard. Number two, do you understand that Facebook has now banned the picture of Trump standing up with saying fight, fight, fight? It's blurred. They're blurring it. Do you understand what's going on? Where are you? Where is Trump Vance? Twitter's not going to save everything. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. I'll ask the questions again. Chime in right now. Lines wide open. How do you think Trump is doing defining Kamala versus the Dem defining J.D. Vance? Who do you think Vance is? Why do you think he's a bad choice, possibly? And what should Trump do if Vance is the wrong guy? And what do you think Mark Kelly, senator, would do for Trump's campaign, or a Josh Shapiro from Pennsylvania? Those are then Tim Wall, I think, is it, or Walls or something? The Democrat governor of Minnesota. I think he's a net whatever wash. But this is Obama, and this is Obama's fourth term right now. His third term is going on right now. The fourth term will be next with Kamala in the fifth. And right now we're losing. I'm going to tell you again and again and again. 800-288-WBAP. Chime in right now. All right, up next, you're going to hear some more audio of Democrats in a montage attacking J.D. Vance, and more stories on how we are not in a good place right now. And if you think we are, then watch us lose. I'm serious. I hate to say it. That's what I say to you today. That's what I've learned today. 800-288-WBAP, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
I don't think Kamala Harris is going to pick anyone as weird and creepy as J.D. Vance.
J.D. Vance, just dumb Vance, is pretty weird.
The agenda, the way they talk to people, the way they address people, it is bizarre. It's weird. It is weird.
Okay, so those are the Democrat talking points put out, and all of the liberal media, all of the Democrats, all in unison say the same thing. Meanwhile, what is Trump and Vance doing? How are they defining Kamala and going after her based on the issues? And I still maintain that J.D. Vance, I love the guy, but he's a bad pick. Very bad pick. Very bad pick. The fact that he did hillbillyology does not mean anything. They will eat him alive and spit him up because he's not on their side. And then Senator Mark Kelly, by the way, is the vice presidential pick, is what some reports are saying. He started a spy balloon company that was funded by China. Isn't that amazing? Doesn't matter. He's incredible. Trump's weird. J.D. Vance is weird. Why? They're taking what Trump said about Kamala by calling her weird, which is like, what does that do? Does nothing, and now they're using it against them. They're triggering them, they're going after them, and they still haven't defined Kamala. They still have not made this about the issues, and that's how you lose. Sorry to whisper like Joe Biden. That's how you lose. How's that, better? JD and Granbury, you've called in as I'm asking three questions. How do you think Trump is doing defining Kamala versus the Democrats defining J.D. Vance? Why do you think J.D. Vance is a bad candidate, possibly, for VP choice for President Trump? And why would Senator Mark Kelly be a threat to Trump's campaign? Or Josh Shapiro is really one I'm really afraid of them picking, which he probably won't, though, because Democrats can't elect according in the own words of the media. And some Democrats, they can't put somebody in who's Jewish, which is disgusting to say that. But and then the Minnesota governor, Tim Walz, is it, or something of that nature? And he looks like a run-of-the-mill leftist type person, but that doesn't bother me. He doesn't bother me. The one that is, Mark Kelly is somewhat of a threat to me, and but much more so is Shapiro. JD and Granbury, hello, WBAP.
Yeah, hey, a lot of questions. Now, let me just say this. J.D. Vance is onto something with that comment. The childless cat ladies are not going to vote for Trump Vance anyway, number one.
Right, but he's attacking them, and they're saying he attacks single women. He attacks, you understand, the women in the suburbs are exactly what we need, and they all get offended by something like, what was it again? Cat lady. Why, if you're right, why is J.D. Vance saying that the Democrats took his childless cat lady remark out of context? Why is he defending it? When you're on defense, you don't win, you lose. Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. And he was hired on this ticket to go on the offense, not to take the bait and being on the defense. He needs to ignore these attacks, go back to offense. That's what he was hired to do, and that's what he needs to do, and just ignore the MSM attacks.
Well, what should he do? What should he do by being on the offense? What should he say? What should he go after?
Well, he needs to first ignore the fact that he made sort of a stupid comment. I agree. It was unnecessary, and it was self-inflicted gunshot wound. He needs to concentrate on the border. That is the issue that will win this election for Trump Vance. Period. Full stop. There are no other issues. Not inflation, not wars overseas, not anything else. It's the border.
It's actually the economy that's number one across the board with everyone, and they haven't done anything on that. This is a disgrace, this campaign right now, isn't it? And right now we're going to lose, aren't we? Seriously, don't lie to me, bud.
it's not looking great right now because the big Mo has gone over to Kamala.
Because it was all timed. All timed perfectly to hit kill our big Mo and go to theirs. And look where we're at now already. Look at that. JD, great call. Appreciate your call, sir. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. My buddy Eric Erickson writes, they need to hurry right now. Democrats working faster to define J.D. Vance than GOP is to define Harris. Harris has received a big spike in favorability as Democrats consolidate behind her and independents take a look. Meanwhile, Vance, the first millennial national candidate with millennial voices, they've been a treasure trove for the left on Spotify playlists, old blog, group chats, etc. Former friends are now throwing him under the bus for no longer seeing eye to eye with him. Millennials, Gen Z alike declare former friends heretics in public ways as a form of narcissistic blah, 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 blah. He says within 2 weeks, the Vances will make Frank and Claire Underwood look like upstanding, normal people with modest political ambition. Democrats are rushing to have National Press Corps helping them do this. GOP needs to move fast. A VP wouldn't normally be such a big deal, except a whole lot of people dislike Trump. A VP could take the edge off of Trump and smooth rough spots, but Vance is doubling down on MAGA. That's why one of the reasons we're losing. Adding a candidate whose voters perceive equally unlikable or even more unlikable is going to weigh down the Trump campaign. Agreed, my friend. Agreed. Meanwhile, Harris is getting a pass. She has a deep record and can herself become across as overly ambitious and unlikable. So more than anything, the GOP needs to act quickly and define Harris before she can define herself at the DNC. And they're not winning right now on this. They're not winning. Stephen Carrollton, you are next on the Chris Krok Show. We've got 3 lines open. Chime in right now, 800-288-WBAP. Then I want to get into Google omitting the Trump assassination attempt from a key featured. Don Jr. claiming big tech is trying to interfere with the election. They are. Google search for Trump showing Harris news, not Trump news. Google search for Harris shows Harris news. Here we are. Next. All right, I'm going to tell you right now, we're losing. Let's play a little bit more. This is a new supercut that I have on my Twitter feed. Here's a little bit more of defining J.D. Vance and Trump right now versus the other way around. We are not defining Kamala.
Some of what he and his running mate are saying, well, it's just plain weird.
These guys are just weird. That's where they are.
As weird and creepy as J.D. Vance.
Super weird idea from J.D. Vance.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's quite weird. They're just plain weird.
Just plain weird.
Just plain weird.
That stuff is weird. They come across weird, and then they start being weird. Yeah, they're weird.
Being a really weird.
He's such a weirdo.
Donald Trump and his weirdo running mate are weird.
It's just, isn't it amazing? Like everybody and everything. Meanwhile, tonight coming out, this is when you Google Donald Trump, it's all rigged. When you Google Donald Trump, it says news about Harris Trump. Then there's all this negative stuff about Donald Trump and positive stuff about Kamala Harris. And look at when the top things under there it says the mayor of Mesa, Arizona is a hit with the left. It's all over Fox, fake news, CNN tonight. Republican Arizona Mayor John Giles endorses Harris over Trump. He literally says that he doesn't think Donald Trump will leave office if he's elected. Do you understand this? A Republican mayor from Mesa, Arizona. So that's making massive headlines for the left. It'll be all over the headlines tomorrow. That's all that matters. You are defying Trump. And then Trump made a huge error again. He was in a softball interview. I mean, I know that Laura Ingham's not going to be softball per se, but look. She asked him a softball question. You know what he said about Christians? That just vote. All you got to do is vote one more time. Just wait, then you can forget about it. It's like, what are you doing? What are you saying this? He's out Trumping himself. And then when she asked him about it today, they say you can't vote for him because he's never going to leave office. He said, okay, she asked him about that too. But my point being is he's hurting himself. And the Democrats are defining him. He has not defined her. And they are not making it about issues. And we are losing. How do you think Trump is doing defining Kamala versus the Dems defining J.D. Vance? How do you think J.D. Vance, why do you think he's a bad VP choice for President Trump, as I have said he is? I like him as a senator, but he should not have been his VP pick. And why would a Senator Mark Kelly be a threat to Trump's campaign? And also, I mean, Governor Josh Shapiro out of Pennsylvania would be a devastating blow for us, I think, for the state of Pennsylvania. Although she is a leftist that is more left of Elizabeth Warren, but yet that's not been defined because it's too busy saying she's weird. They took it and used it against them, and now they're losing, and they're not defining her. We're in a bad way, and Obama has already christened her as the new Obama, and they're going to wrap her and package her. And Pennsylvania starts early voting in 40 days, and this is done. They waited. There's no definition of her. All the other stuff is fake. All the mainstream media are hiding it. All of Google is hiding it and censoring it and making Trump look bad and censoring the Trump picks. That's where we're at, y'all. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. I'll get more into censorship in a moment, but how do you think Trump is doing defining Kamala versus the Democrats defining Vance? And how do you think J.D. Vance is he a bad choice for President Trump? As I have said, why do you think he is? And why do you think Mark Kelly would be a threat to Trump's campaign? Who's the biggest threat on that docket for VP? 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. Let's go to, who do we got here? Steve in Carrollton. Steve, hi, WBAP.
Hey, Chris.
Hey.
Talking about the comment that he made, however long ago that was, he actually made the cat lady comment. I don't think, I know you've been saying, it's the worst thing in the world. He shouldn't have done it.
No, I didn't say it's the worst thing in the world, but it's just stuff that's coming up, and there's a lot more stuff that's come up, and he's on the defensive, and we're losing. I think it was an unwise thing to say. It makes us chuckle, but go ahead.
Trump knew that going in. I mean, he knew going in that, and that's one of the reasons why he picked him. So it's not. I don't think it's as big of a deal as the media is trying to make it out to be. I think they just need to figure out a better way for him to combat it. I think he may still be getting his footing, to determine what's okay with the Donald, what's not okay with the Donald, what's going to make him trash can him, and what's going to make him keep him around. And I think once he figures that out, he'll be able to let loose and
we don't have time
really
for
go
that.
in on him.
We don't have time for that. We're losing. They're already winning.
Yeah, who says they're losing? Who says we're losing? Those stupid surveys that they put out days after Kamala has been anointed by the party to be that person. Well, I was at church Sunday, and the Democrats who happen to go to church with me are all crazy about Kamala right now. But again, they just found out about her. Remember, she didn't get one single solitary vote in the primary, like none. So it's
I agree.
I know. Nobody likes this woman. It's just a matter of the fact that she's in her honeymoon period, and of course they've got to give her a few minutes to enjoy her time in the sunshine until we attack. But I think.
And how do we attack? Tell me that, because right now we're losing. And when I say that, I know you don't agree with that, and that's fine, but I strongly disagree, as you know. But the Wall Street Journal and the separate poll from, what was the other one? There were two polls on Friday. One was the Wall Street Journal. I can't remember the other one now. I think it was Fox. It was Fox News, I think. And two things we found out that in the Journal one, the lead that Trump had is wiped out. She erased it. And the lead in all of the swing states was erased as well. They're all within the margin of error, and they're all close now.
But Chris, you're in media. You know better than that. You know those surveys are garbage. I knew before they even announced the surveys. I
trust
exactly
the more of them there are, the more of them I trust, and I'm very concerned. You're not concerned at all?
Not even a little bit. Again, we knew going in that that's the way they were going to hit it. They have no other option. The only thing they have, they've even tried to kill the guy. There's literally nothing left.
And you can't find that on Google anymore, and Facebook is banning that too now. So
yeah. Do
you see what we're up against?
Sound like she's a goddess.
Do you see what we're up against now?
Absolutely, and I agree it's an uphill battle. I don't agree that we're even close to losing. However, at the same time, I'd also say that we should definitely not act like we're winning. I think it serves us best for them that tell us that we're losing, because maybe it'll get conservatives off their butts and out to the polls and actually working before they get there to drag people with them and influence people as they go along. As a matter of fact, I think that's the only way we're going to win anyway, because they're going to throw everything they've got. You think we got some trouble now? Wait until Joe Biden decides to make all these daggum illegals legal.
And Elizabeth Warren just said that, and Kamala is to the left of Elizabeth Warren, according to GovTrack, in 2019 as a senator and 2020.
Mm-hmm.
She was more liberal than Elizabeth Warren, so she wants that. And there you go. So, I mean, and when you realize that Barack Obama has put this all together, this is him, and she is the new. What really grabbed me is I heard a new thing on Fox about how this is planned, and they're wrapping her up. She's the new Obama, and Obama wanted this, and he won, and they're making her the new hope and change, and they're burying and hiding and attacking and belittling and not acknowledging her record of wanting everything that's horrible for this country, and they're packaging her new like Obama, and I'm telling you, that worked, and she even has a pastor like worse than Reverend Jeremiah Wright. And they'll get that out of the way. Obama still won. So now I'm like eerily close to Obama going, this is unbelievable, and we're going to lose right now.
Fox News is even doing that. You look and you see what they did Sunday morning on Fox News Sunday. What's her name? Bream.
Bream. I listened to it. I listened to that. And
I was disgusted.
And by the way, real fast. And by the way, Sunday morning futures with Maria Bartiromo. She says futures for like 20 minutes. I do love that one. I'm sure you watched that one too. Go ahead.
Bream is spending her time with booty juice, and the entire time he's just blasting. He's all over the top of her, just all over the place. And she's like, oh well, okay, it's okay. Wait a minute. Who the heck are you? What are you doing? This is Fox News. That would not happen on ABC, NBC, CBS, MSNBC, and none of the rest of them. But
Steve, so you say take a chill pill, and you're not worried about Vance. I like your attitude. I'm concerned, but I like your attitude. Huh?
It's early, but I know it's late, but it's early.
You got to keep calling. You're a great caller, brother.
Thanks.
All right, take care, man. All right, there you go. All right, Kim in Dallas, let's throw you on quick, my lady. Hello, what do you got?
Hello.
WBAP. Hello.
And I disagree with Steve from Carrollton. I think the situation is dire, and the Republicans don't realize it. The campaign, they're sluggish. I mean, they're just sluggish. And Kamala, no, they're not defining her, and she's coming across as being just youthful and vibrant versus like old Donald Trump. And he needs to attack her, like call her Commie Kamala or something.
I disagree about that. Personal stuff is how you lose in this race.
Well, I mean, insofar as her policies go, I guess you have to have the nasty nickname, but they're just not addressing any of the issues that she had with the border, her crazy policies of wanting Medicare for all and doing away with your private health insurance. They could just attack that on so many levels.
They're not.
Like the jobs it would lose.
They're not. Instead, they're calling her. I'm not being negative on you, but instead they're doing things like calling her Kamala, and then that gets spun and turned against them, and that's what goes all over everywhere. You've got to not say any of those types of things because you can't give them any ammo because they'll focus on that and not what you said about the policy. Instead, it should be like you said, the policies you mentioned and nothing else. And I think Trump is turning into the Trump that will lose. And right in real time in front of my eyes, telling Christians, "Don't worry, we don't ever have to vote after you vote for me." Stuff that's like that. It's like, dude, what in God's name could you possibly be thinking, and why would you be saying that? And then calling name. I'm telling you, this is a bad place to be right now. And we have two Trumps on the ticket. And if he wins, that's great. But the problem is two Trumps doesn't look good to the rest of the people that we need to vote for him. We need a Trump and then I wish he would have done a what's his name from South Carolina, the African American Tim Scott, or a somebody of that nature. Marco Rubio would have been great. I'm sure he would have moved out of state, and if he wouldn't have, he couldn't use him. So, what's your last thought? Go ahead.
Well, J.D. Vance, I think this childless cat lady or whatever he said, I think that remark is just really going to tank them because it's going to be used to portray the entire ticket as being anti-woman.
Yes, anti-woman.
I mean, it's really else? Resonating with a lot of people.
The African-American vote has been surged, as you just heard our last caller say, but also it's the polls. And the Latino jury is still out. I was listening today, but here's the other thing to leave you with a really bad thought. As I compel a couple of my thoughts that I've gathered throughout the day from intelligence I've gleaned, if you will, all the different news and stories and such, and that is that the Democrat ground game is 10-1 as far as money. I heard today from Democrat pollster and Mark, whatever his name is, the one who did with Tim was a Bill Clinton pollster, Mark Penn, I think. But then also they were saying, another person on Fox News was saying the ground game is like 10-1 over Trump, and if they have some great ground game, we don't know about it. And there was a former official in Pennsylvania, I think it was, or one of the states that's a swing state, and he says, Michigan, and he says, I haven't even gotten a call. Now, it's possible, they were talking about that all the people that were in Michigan, because it was such a disastrous issue in the last election, that they've been removed, the head's been removed, and a new person that's the head of the Michigan State Party apparently is really good. So it might be something that guy who was not called is not in the loop because he was with that old guard. All I know is it's possible that we're going to really, really lose because the ground game is already 10-1 better. And that's what I heard today. So, I mean, this is, and today everything I'm seeing is everything that you go day after day that trounces us. And suppresses the truth and suppresses the vote. So get ready. Today we're losing, and it looks bad. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I told people this, that in 2 weeks could be everything different. So here we are, and I'm grateful for your skepticism because that's what's necessary right now.
Yeah, Vance is, and I know he's just the VP pick, but he's
distracting.
Really
he's distracting. He shouldn't even be talked about anymore.
Right, but he's so lacking in self-awareness. I mean, he doubled down on the childless cat lady, and then he very arrogantly said he would pray for childless people, and he's against IVF. I mean, that can be spun so many ways. Just
Kim, think about
to make
all.
It look so negative. It's just so bad. They don't realize how bad it is.
Think of the treasure trove that is in his, as my friend Eric Erickson mentioned. I read it a little earlier in his old blogs. All his 10 years, 15 years of things he said publicly or that's available online. His friends from college have turned on him recently. Think of all the stuff that's going to come out in the next month. 2 months.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And then he'll have to defend that. That's what you want. On the defense, on the defense, on the defense, on the defense. Bury, overwhelm. And then there's no way you'll get out from that. A little Trump will do that when you got him on the ticket versus somebody else that's this milquetoast dude. I'm telling you. Thank you for your great call, Kim. Keep it up. Please keep calling. Okay, 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. And on that front, we're being... big tech is totally throttling us back, neutering us, and hiding Trump and all the good stuff, or even moderately decent stuff about him. It's shocking what we're seeing today. That is next on the Chris Krok Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Hey, Sebastian Maniscalco comes to the American Airlines Center on August 10th. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Text FUNNY to 1-800-288-9227 for your chance to win a pair of tickets. That's FUNNY to 1-800-288-9227. All right. Wanted to get that in. But look at this. Google omits Trump assassination attempt from a key feature as Don Jr. claims big tech is trying to interfere with the election. Here's the insane thing. You can see this retweeted throughout my Twitter feed at Chris Krok Show. That's at Chris Krok Show. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at the same handle, at Chris Krok Show, CHRISKROK. But when you Google search Trump, it shows Kamala Harris Trump news, and then it's all bad news about Trump, and then all positive news about Kamala. When you Google search Kamala Harris, it's all Kamala. There's nothing Trump. You understand that? So when you Google Trump, it's Kamala and bad Trump stories. When you Google Harris, it's Harris and nothing bad, and nothing about Trump. It's totally rigged with Google. In the meantime, a Google feature omits the search results for a failed Trump assassination. You can't find it. It comes with autocomplete results related to other presidents and figures. You simply, can't. When you type in assassination attempt on, it comes up Reagan, Hitler, Bob Marley, Lenin, Gerald Ford, Truman, Teddy Roosevelt, William Seward, Franklin Roosevelt, Andrew Johnson. Nothing about Trump. When you type in assassination attempt of TRUM, it says Truman. How many presidents have assassinated attempts? Hugh Truman, Harry Truman. Nothing on Trump. You understand this? Google banned it, and also Facebook has According to several posters, when you put a Facebook pic of Trump standing up holding the, saying, fight, 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 it's blurred out. You can't put it up anymore. Zuckbucks organization coaches election offices on handling Biden exit. And the top donations are from big tech in the layup of top donor contributors. And then we have this from New York Post. Google omits Trump assassination attempt from key feature. Anyway, so that's where we're at right now. And it's just beginning how bad things are and how bad they are rigged already.